Welcome back everyone. This is part 2 of Marcy's first mission. So if you haven't seen part 1, go check out the previous video so you can be caught up and know what's going on. This begins from right where the last video left off. Upon returning from the mission, Femur, Kettle, and Javi were heartbroken. Their former captain, friend, and mentor betrayed their trust and broke his vow of honor. Marcy tried to cheer them up with her family fried rice recipe, but it didn't work. Not only that, but Headmaster Albert interrupted their dinner and announced that the Night Guard would not be taking this mission any further. Although Ernst, the leader, escaped, the cult was crushed, so they decided to officially close this case. Marcy tried to explain the story to him and begged him to let them see the mission to the end, but he aggressively denied their pleas. Marcy was furious with his decision. She felt that her team deserved answers from Ernst and wanted to go catch him. Fuming, she stormed into the throne room to talk to King Andreas about the situation, asking him for his permission and help. But despite everything, King Andreas could not offer her any help with the situation. Although she was denied by Albert and received no assistance from Andreas, Marcy was not going to give up. She snuck into Lady Elizabeth's office to look for any information she could find to get on DawnBlood Island. After an hour of searching, she found a manifest of a ship heading in that direction. Marcy and her crew disguised themselves as adventurous sailors she dubbed the Red Skull Moth Gang and snuck on the ship. On this ship, she met
My name is General Yunnan, Scourge of the Sand Wars, defeater of Ragnar the Wretched, and the youngest Newt to ever achieve the rank of General in the great Newtopian army.
And to the surprise of no one, Marcy loved her. General Yunnan was on a secret mission to capture Grime at the time and was sailing to look for him. She was aiming to catch Grime, hoping it would make up for her father's cowardice for abandoning his comrades in battle and restore honor to her family name. During the journey to DawnBlood Island, the ship that they were traveling on was attacked by a group of pirates, led by a toad named Greenbeard. They boarded the ship and demanded they surrender their valuables. They were nasty looking characters with sharp and rotten teeth. All the sailors on the ship dropped to their knees and emptied their pockets for the pirates, but with General Yunnan and Marcy's crew on board, there was really nothing to worry about. They captured the pirates with ease. Turns out they weren't really pirates, but instead were a theater troupe who was using method acting to prepare for their new play, The Pirates of Toad's Arms. Marcy laughed at that misunderstanding, but Yunnan, she tossed them overboard. A couple days following the so-called attack, they finally reached DawnBlood Island. The island was filled with blood-red rock, barren trees, strange creatures, and a strange castle. On their way toward the castle, they saw that the island was home of strange ruins with futuristic architecture. Some of the same technology and architecture that we saw in the season 2 finale. The castle was also made with the futuristic architecture seen all over the island. To enter the castle, they had to go through a secret passageway that Marcy found while searching for clues. The wall glowed green and began rearranging itself to make a path for them that led inside. While this happened, Javi saw that Marcy's eyes turned glowing green as well, meaning that like Anne, Marcy had some of her connection to the gem powers during the journey through Amphibia as well. Making their way through the castle that was full of traps, Marcy and her crew reached the chamber at the center of the castle. Once inside, the doors latched shut and a room filled with gas. A small steampunk flying machine emerged from the rafters with someone controlling it, just like a mini-boss. In a high-pitched voice, the pilot of the contraption yelled, "Bravo for making it this far, but if you want to reach Ernst, you must first fight me." She then started flying overhead of all of them, dropping strange bombs that exploded purple goop that wrapped around their limbs. It was a hard-fought battle, but Marcy was able to find a weak point in the machine and hit it with a flaming bolt, causing the entire machine to explode in the air. The pilot ejected at the last second and fell hard to the floor. She was a little newt with spiky hair, green skin, and an eye patch with big teeth named Bomb Freak. She was an engineer who turned mercenary to fund her experiments. Once caught, she disabled the rest of the traps and gave them the key to the throne room where Ernst was located. Once everyone was ready, they burst through the doors of the throne room to find Ernst, sitting on the throne wearing a heavy suit of gold armor. Not only that, but the entire room was covered in riches and treasures. Ernst smiled and said, "My old friend, I'm so glad that you could make it." Javi snapped, telling him to spare the charm and give us answers. Ernst left. He had no plans to lie, trick, or fight them. The truth of the situation was that an anonymous benefactor came to him with a unique offer: fake his death, burn all historical documents pertaining to a specific legend, and use the name of the arms as a scapegoat. He chose to accept this offer because he felt burdened. Being a hero was suffocating him, and he yearned for an escape. The benefactor offered him a fresh start, a clean state, and a chance to escape his dual reality and countless riches to live out any new life that he chose for himself. He invited them here because he wanted to invite them to join in the adventure of his new life. He wanted his fresh start to be theirs as well. But they were not having any of that and aggressively disagreed. Ernst then drew the biggest sword ever and said, "Pity. Well, if you won't be a part of my new chapter, then I'll just have to remove you from the story." Marcy thought that this was the coolest thing ever and rated him as a S-tier RPG villain. Then the final battle began. The crew were no match for Ernst. He was as agile as Javi, tough as Femur, and strong as Kettle. Their weapons didn't even affect his armor. Ernst was wearing them down slowly. Marcy scanned the room in hopes of finding something that could help them turn the tides in the fight. While in her search, she seen some plants and thought of an idea. She snatched some seedlings off the wall and began making a potion. Ernst knocked Femur out cold, gave a deep slash to Javi's chest, and slinged Kettle across the room like it was nothing. As Marcy was finishing her potion, Ernst pinned her against the stained glass and put his blade to her neck. Before he was able to strike her neck, she poured the potion down the back of his armor and escaped. Huge roots and vines then emerged from the gaps in his armor, completely entangling him and making him unable to move. Eventually, the weight of his giant sword then caused the roots to snap, making him crash through the stained window and into the ocean below. Marcy killed him. She then gathered her wounded cadets and went back to the camp. That'll be it for part 2 of the video. Part 3 should be coming soon, so make sure you like and subscribe so you'll be updated when the new episode drops. Thank you.